Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna talk about family vloggers. So I have been wanting to make this video for a long time, but I think I figured out like how I want to narrow it down, because I don't just want to talk about family vloggers as a whole. There's so many people who talk about family vloggers, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I have shared just my dislike and borderline hatred for family vloggers, because to me they are exploiting their children. I kind of wanted to focus on one thing, and that one thing is thumbnails and clickbait. If you guys know what family channels are, or you guys are subscribed to some, or whatever it might be, or if you just watch YouTube, you guys know what thumbnails and clickbait titles are. If you guys want to see me talk about family vloggers, specifically thumbnails and clickbait titles, then just keep watching. Almost every family channel has done a clickbait title and or a thumbnail that is, to me, inappropriate, meaning they either use their children who have hurt themselves, their kids are sick, something really dramatic that pulls the audience in. So that's kind of the whole point of thumbnails and clickbait titles, is you want your audience to click the video. But this has gone too far. So I want to talk about a few family channels. I'm not going to talk about all, because unfortunately there are a lot of family channels that do this. The thing I wanted to say before I really get into this video is that I'm not a parent, and so you can take that with however, you could take it however you want, whether you think I do have the right to have an opinion, whether you think I don't really care. I am a good human being, so I feel like I should have a say in this somehow. Hopefully one day I am a parent, but I just wanted to put that disclaimer out, not a parent, so take this for what it is. Also, sometimes when I get really passionate and like when I have a passionate like opinion and thoughts, I can come off a little judgmental, and that's not my goal. But at the same time, I kind of am judging these moms, these families, because yeah, it's an issue. I wanted to talk about family channels and why I feel like they exploit their kids. So family channels have gotten super big here on YouTube. They make a lot of money. They pull in a lot of views. If you look at people like the Ace family or the Labrant family, I mean, they're hitting millions of views. There's so many people who are watching them. Now, mind you, I do think people like the Ace family and the Labrant family, their fans are younger. So their fans probably aren't able to really digest the content as critically as, you know, us people who are older on the outside looking in, being like, okay, this is pretty exploitative. You know, if a child is watching another child get all these toys and live in a mansion, and they only see the good stuff, of course they think like, oh, this is awesome, like I want to be that kid's so lucky, I love. And like nowadays kids like to watch other kids play online, which is so strange. But that's a thing. So I think that's also how they're able to rack in so many views. Another issue I have is there's no age limit on these family channels. So there can be a family channel who has a newborn and they can just film their newborn. And to me, that's an issue. So if we're like, okay, once you're 16, 18, and you're able to give consent and you want to be filmed by your family, that's one thing, right? But can a child really give consent? And Josh from the Dad Challenge podcast, he talked about talking to a psychologist, and the psychologist said that a child isn't able to give consent. Now, if you ask a 9-year-old, do you want to be on video, or do you want to be on YouTube, or do you want to be on camera, they might say yes, right? And then in our head, we're thinking like, okay, well, that's consent. Well, but are they able to take it a step further, and are they able to see, hey, what is this going to do to my future? How am I going to feel when I'm 18 and I look back on when I was 9 and my parents were exploiting me all over the internet? Taking their kids to go get tampons because they just started their period, taking their daughters to go get bras. If my mom ever filmed me doing something like that, I would be so mad at her, and I would probably be bullied. Like, let's be real here. So there's just a lot of issues that are wrong with family channels in my mind. So we have the exploitation of children, meaning they are showing their children in, how do I explain? What's the word? So for instance, there's families who show their children taking a bath and things like that, and we may look at that and think like, oh nice, like we're looking at like what kind of products they use on their child, or you know, different things like that. But there are people out there who are gross and disgusting who look at that and they are taking advantage of the child through the television, if that makes sense. So I just wish that more parents would think about it critically, because I think a lot of people think like, oh well, I'm just showing my kid here, I'm just showing them there, it's fine. But like, you don't realize who's on the other side of the camera, or not the camera, who's on the other side of the video watching, and what they're thinking and what information they're finding out about these families and maybe stalking them. You know, I know there's been some family channels who have made content about being stalked, and yet they still continue to film their children. So it's like, is money more important or are your kids more important? Because I feel like family channels really ride that line of what's more important, money or children, and sometimes I think that the money is more important. So Jordan Cheyenne is an influencer who has a son, and she has been filming, I think she said like for the past 8 years. I believe her son is 8, and she has been filming him in different ways. So just recently, they found out that their puppy had parvo. She filmed a video and she posted the video. Now when she posted the video, she left in a clip that showed her trying to get her son to take a thumbnail. Now you might not think this is a big deal, it's whatever, like there's people all the time, even I've done it, where I've taken a screenshot of my video and posted it as my thumbnail. Now the problem is though, is that she was wanting her son to cry. Like she was like telling him to cry, and you know, she was like fake consoling him for the thumbnail. So she did this so that more people would click on her channel, because they're like, oh, a little kid is crying, let me click on it and see what's going on. A lot of family channels do this. They put their kids in different positions where it looks dangerous or like they're sad or crying, and for some reason people want to click it. So I think it's for the dramatics. I don't really know who wants to see a child upset or crying, but there are a lot of people, millions of people who watch. So Jordan Cheyenne actually took her YouTube channel completely down. She did come out and apologize, and I really give her props for doing that, because a lot of family channels who have gotten caught doing this, Ace Family, don't say anything and they just keep going on with their life, right? So they don't ever take accountability for their actions, and she did, and I think that needs to be recognized. I really wanted to mention her because I think her getting called out for this situation really blew the lid off of family channels in general. I do think that there's more people talking about it, and I think she just happened to be the catalyst, and I think it opens people's eyes to other family channels who do these like clickbait titles or these extravagant, unnecessary thumbnails, because they're doing the exact same thing, they just haven't gotten caught. Labrant family does the exact same thing. Just Fam, same thing. They just haven't left the clip in to get caught for doing it. So I wanted to bring her up. I don't know much about her, so let's go on to the next family. Right, next family is probably my top hated. I don't know, between them and the Labrant family, they're tied, but I dislike the Ace family for so many reasons. One of them being their exploitation of their children. So I used to watch the Ace family. I'm sad to say I did used to watch them years ago. Thankfully I stopped, but I do know a little bit more about their family than like the Jordan Cheyenne, but I just wanted to talk about something recently that happened. So like the Jordan Cheyenne thing, the Ace family has done this a couple times where they post a video and they leave a clip in that should have been clipped out. So the Ace family recently got a new dog, and they came out with a video that said, "Our dog bit our son." Now they have a son, he's little, I don't know how old he is, maybe like 1. He's really small. And they had put a fake, I don't know, I'm guessing it was photoshopped, a photoshopped scar on his face, or a cut, a wound, a gash, whatever you want to call it. They put that on the thumbnail with the title, "Our dog bit our son." So when you have a video that is a photo of your son with a slash, gash, whatever you want to call it, on his face, and a title that says, "Our dog bit our son." What do you think people are gonna think? They're gonna think that the dog bit the child, right? And people are gonna click on it and they're like, oh my God, like what happened? Like obviously anybody who sees that, they're gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Long story short, the dog did not bite the child. And if you see on the clip that they took out, which I will post in here, Austin, the dad, is trying to get Catherine to not show the son's face because there is no gash, there is no cut.
So what do you want to play?
Alright, East Family, today was a success.
Alright, East Family, today was a success. We...
Alright guys, we're about to get ready to close out today's video.
As you guys, so still got a scratch. It's now.
Oh yeah, you're gonna say that. Yeah. So Still's now up, as you can see.
Yeah.
And he.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Still is now up.
I know I didn't.
He got scratched.
All right, guys. So now that Steel is up, we can talk about what happened earlier. So basically, as you guys know, when you have a puppy, they tend to like nibble on you and bite your clothes, bite your legs, bite your feet. So Steel was a little too close, just a tiny little bit too close, and I saw it happen right in front of me.
He was playing.
He just
Ace was playing with him. He's a baby. Baby's like nibbling.
And I was like, oh my God, did he just get his eye? And I was freaking out. And then Austin kind of grabbed him and looked over and was like, oh, it's just his face. And he thought he had scratched him with his paw, but I saw his mouth. And so we just have to really pay attention to what's going on with the kids, because obviously he's a puppy and he doesn't know what he's doing. And so, and obviously, like, we are training him not to bite, not to nibble, but he is. So he's doing what puppies do. So with that being said, his cheek now looks great. I'll show you what it looks like now.
No, we don't want to show him his face. I'm just gonna say, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like.
Yeah. So.
We nibbled on it, and then I'll show. I guess we just pulled up as you can. Yeah. So now we're good. So with
that being said, now we're good.
So basically, it's clickbait. Duh. The thumbnail is photoshopped, and the son actually wasn't bit by the dog. Now, my whole issue with this is, why would you ever like put that into the universe that your dog bit your son to the point where he had a gash on his face? Like, why is that something to joke about? Why is that something to post on the internet? I don't understand the entertainment aspect of doing that. Like, you can't be a good person and post that. I'm sorry. Like, there's no good in you if you feel like that's something that you need to post. Like, I don't even have words, and that's why I'm like, because I really don't have words. Like, I just get so frustrated thinking about it. Now, in this video that should have been cut out, not only do you see Austin like trying to hide their son's face because he's still trying to get the audience to think that his dog bit their son. This is when you see Elle, the daughter, scared of the dog. She's crying and she's running to her mom for comfort. And this is when you see Catherine, the mom, shoo her away and tell her to get off because she's filming. And so I will leave the clip here, and so you guys can see for yourself.
Hey, be nice. Alright.
Can you get off of me, please? Because I was
What? Let me hold you here. No, I'll take it.
With that being said, we're gonna close out the video right here. Make sure to like, comment, share.
This needs to stop. This is so bad and uncomfortable and gross. It needs to stop. It just does. Like I said, just think about being in these kids' shoes. It doesn't matter. Who cares about the parents? They're adults. They can handle it themselves. But imagine being a child where you look for your parents for comfort, for attention, for affection, for love, for support, and you have your parent telling you to get off because they would rather talk to the camera than comfort you. Psychologically and mentally, what is that going to do to a child? And this isn't the first time. Like, this isn't a, you know, one and done event where it's like, oh, one time she chose the camera over her children. No, this is probably weekly. This is probably daily. So I just want to bring this to your guys' attention that this happens all the time. It's just that the times when they leave in the clip is the time that people call them out. But yet when they don't leave something in to be criticized about, people just continue to watch because they think that their lives are just perfect and awesome and all these things that aren't true at all, especially with the Ace family. Trust me, you do not want to be like those people. So moving on, we have the Labrant family. Now, I don't even know where to start with this family. Talk about the exploitation of kids, talk about superior complex. Like, there's a lot going there, okay? There's just a lot. Talk about judgmental people. Just, they're not good people in my opinion. So Labrant family is a family channel. They post frequently. They do vlogs, they do pranks, they do a bunch of stupid stuff, okay? Don't know how they make that much money because a lot of their stuff is really fucking stupid. So I will show you some screenshots of their thumbnails. One of them particularly that stuck out to me was when Cole, the dad, he played a prank on the mom where he dropped their newborn baby. How is this funny? Like, maybe because I'm not like a prank person. I don't really like pranks. I think it's just kind of weird to see someone like get upset or be scared over something that's not even real. And so maybe that's just like a personal problem. But I would be devastated. Like, I literally would hate Zach, my current boyfriend, if we had a kid and he played a prank where I thought that he was dropping our newborn baby. I would probably like freak out. Just thinking of a newborn baby being dropped is just not funny to me. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth and it's inappropriate, and I don't know why it's on the internet. Now, the most recent thing that was absolutely disgusting and gross is they posted a thumbnail of their family like walking in the grass, and they changed it after getting hate, but it said, what did it say? She got diagnosed with cancer. I have notes over here if you guys are like, why is she looking over there? So there was a video that they posted and it was a picture of their family and it said she got diagnosed with cancer. So when you put a picture of your family and you put that as the title, what do you think people are gonna think? Do you think people are gonna be like, oh, some random person that they don't know at all who's a fan got cancer? Or would you think one of their children has cancer? You would think one of their children has cancer. And they want you to think that so that you click on it. Like, they want you to think that one of their children has cancer so that you click on it.
This video that they have just done, because this is honestly one of the most disgusting things I have ever seen from a family vlog channel. So I want to talk about the fact that not only did they clickbait their audience by making their audience think that their youngest daughter had cancer, but they actually exploited real life children, strangers' children, who actually do have cancer for clout online.
Why would you ever want a child, fake or not, to have cancer? Like, well, why would you want your fans to think that one of your kids has cancer? Why would you even want to put that into the world? Why? Because money and views, money and views, money and views. That's all these parents care about, is money and views. Would anybody actually care about Savannah or Cole Labrant if they didn't have kids? No, they wouldn't, because they're boring, they do nothing, and their whole life is exploiting their children. So people like Jess Fam, would she have a platform if she didn't have kids? No, because no one watches for her. No one watches for Cole, no one watches for Savannah, no one watches for Catherine, no one watches for Austin. Everybody always watches for the kids, I'm telling you. Like, everyone likes to see kids, which is just kind of weird too, because it's like, why would you want to watch kids? But all these family channels, ask yourself that question: would they be popular without their children? So back to this video. Long story short, one of their children did not have cancer.
Most kids do, but as you Google things, you can just convince yourself of stuff, and that's my personality, unfortunately.
And we really didn't talk to anybody about it.
Oh, awesome. Again, what I just said. I just assumed she had cancer, and so we made videos about it. My anxiety, we're making a video about it now, we're capitalizing it. And you know what? If you think your kid has cancer, if you think your kid has cancer, why did you just admit, and we really didn't talk to anybody about it? Are you out of your effing minds? You are influencers. People watch you. What the F is wrong with you?
No.
That's the thing too, so I think it was like eating him up inside.
So you're full of shit is what you're telling me. Any parent, specifically for someone who says that they have anxiety over their kids and their safety, if you think your kid has cancer, what's the first thing you're gonna do? What's the first thing you're gonna do? Specifically if you're wealthy, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna go get them looked at, right? So what are they saying? They can't, because they live outside of the normal capacity as human beings. Everything they do needs to be content. They don't have a normal life, everybody. They cannot live a normal life. They don't. Even their friends like Fish Fam and all these other people live the same way in private planes and everything else. They are not normal people. They do not live. They are very, very privileged, okay? So upper class white privileged, it's insane. They do not. He doesn't say, we're gonna quit. He says, I'm gonna do this because it's gonna give me money. He's a liar.
And even after, it's like we gotta fight, you know? I don't
And I
want to
think
fight.
it'd be so easy to just, because you see sad things on Instagram all the time, and you just keep scrolling and scrolling. You'll see it, and you'll get sad, and you'll talk about it, and then you just keep scrolling past it. And it could have been so easy to just keep scrolling, but instead, we wanted to do something.
Here's an idea. Why don't you scroll down your daughter's comment section and delete all the predators in there? I vote for that. Vote for that.
It was another, I think she was like a young child, I believe, and her mom was like a fan, and Cole went into the hospital, which is also weird because he's also said things like he's anti-vax. You're going to a children's hospital with kids who have cancer and you might have COVID. Like, why are they even allowing him into the hospital?
He's not breathing over this child, touching her. This guy, an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer, and all that kind of stuff, not wearing a proper mask, sitting here, virtue signaling a prayer over a little girl. If you want to know what evil really looks like, it looks like this. If you want to know what fakery looks like, you want to know why churches are struggling now, you know why churches are falling apart at the seams? It's because of people like this guy. I'm not saying you shouldn't go into a hospital and pray for children, you should. What I'm saying is you don't put it on camera. Okay, I'm saying you don't do it to virtue signal. I'm saying you don't do it to show how amazing you are. I'm saying you don't do it if you're Cole Labrant. Specifically if you're Cole Labrant, because it's bullshit lie. This guy's heart is black as his name.
Basically, I did not watch the whole video. I don't want to watch him pray over a child who has cancer. That's the last thing I ever want to watch on my television or TV. And I just feel so sad for the child who has cancer and her parents, because Cole and Savannah Labrant are just straight up exploiting them as well. Just like they do their children, now they're exploiting another children and her family. And this should be so disgusting and repulsive that they should lose all their followers. This should just be, there's a line, okay? And I think all of these people I've talked about have crossed a line. So to finish off with the Labrant family, I also just wanted to mention the same with the Ace family, that their daughters who are very young have Instagrams, and it has been, it's come out that after looking at their analytics, majority of their followers are males. And so, you know, for you who watch family channels, or you who, you know, watch family channels and your parents yourself, I just think it's important to think of those things as well. Not only just like all the good that they show and it maybe brings you knowledge or some type of entertainment, but when you think about that these parents are okay with their children having Instagrams at 1, such a young age, but 2, when they know that the audience is mostly male and they continue to allow their children to be on that platform. It just shows you their true character and what they really truly care about. My final thoughts. So basically, I just wanted to make this video because I think it's important to bring awareness to things that happen to children. I think a lot of children don't really have rights in this country, and in all countries, you know, because when we think of kids, we are like, oh, well, their parents tell them what to do, and it's their parents. But if their parents aren't making the best decisions, then who is there to advocate for kids, right? So I wanted to also say that, you know, with these family vloggers, they're always putting out this perfect life. So their whole goal is just to put out this like perfect life where there's no problems and everything's good and the dishes are always clean and the house is always made and their kids behave, and you know, they're doing all this fridge organization, they're cleaning 5 days a week, they're vacuuming twice a day. I mean, it's just all so cookie cutter and perfect. And I just want to ask the question, do you guys feel like these children will grow up thinking that they have to be perfect? Do you think that they'll grow up having body image issues, and I understand that, like, as a society, those things are pretty normal. Like, I have body image issues and I wasn't exploited by my parents on YouTube. But do you think that these things will kind of amplify that and make it even worse? Like, when you're always continually seeing yourself on the internet, are you gonna nitpick certain things? Are you gonna wanna be this perfect person? And when you're not perfect, you're gonna feel very, you know, self-loathing and all those things. I just think it's important to ask ourselves these questions. So that is gonna conclude this video. I wish there was like an answer to make this all better, but there's not. I just think talking about it, bringing awareness, and even if like 5 people see this video, I will be satisfied, because then those are 5 more people who are getting more knowledgeable about YouTuber family channels. And I think there's a lot of people who don't watch YouTube. A lot of my friends don't watch YouTube, and when I tell them these things, they're always like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah. So I just think more and more people need to talk about it, learn about it, and just be about it, and be about getting these family channels off of YouTube and holding them truly accountable. It's not about canceling. I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe in holding people accountable, and I don't think that's done enough on YouTube. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.